Well, hey folks, so tax sales, a lot of people talk about them. A lot of people don't practice what they preach. I got these 20 acres at a tax sale. I didn't actually look at this parcel. I just bid on it, and I used intuition, common sense, and as much preparation as I could before I bid on it. So this tax sale that came up, what you need to do is you need to register with your county tax assessor. Now, it's kind of a messed up thing. The government can take people's land for not paying their taxes and sell them. But hey, you know, this is the environment that we live in, and we do the best we can given the rules that they allow us to play by. So you need to register with your county tax assessor. There's a sale usually once a year for tax properties. You also need to find out if your tax sale in your county or the county that you're looking at is a tax lien or outright deed. And the county that I bought in, it's an outright deed. And usually that means they didn't pay their taxes for 5 years. They do have a right of redemption the day before the tax sale. But you could see here, I mean, this is just it's almost a slice of heaven up here. And I got 20 acres, drum roll, $7,200. So I told a couple people about that, and they said, oh, $7 grand an acre, that ain't too bad. And I said, no, 7,200 for 20 acres. So this is like low mountain, about 1 mile elevation here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting in a road. Well, basically just removing some of the trees and shrubbery to try to get a road up into this part where I think it's nicer to camp. And then we're going to put a shooting range on the far side so that we can have a good time, you know, good old American time. We love to celebrate our freedoms in America, and what better place to do it than in God's country out here. So my property line goes up to the top of this hill and then comes around to the street right there and goes down into this gulch. And then we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna show you what's going on up here. So here's a little bit of the work I've been doing. I didn't bring my chainsaw today, but I'm gonna cut this in so that we can get the trucks up here, up to the other side where we're a little protected from, oh, look at that. Huh, this looks like a 9mm full metal jacket. Pretty intact. Looks like it's a brass full metal jacket. Cut some trees out here. So still working on this. Little different view of the road here. Raptor's a little wide, so you know, them wide bodies, you gotta let them have their way. So property line goes up past those junipers and then goes all the way down. You might not be able to see it, but there's a black fence. So I'm gonna cut that road in, come up here, and then eventually a couple more trips up here. Want to camp down where that flat area is under those pine trees. I think it'll be pretty nice. And our shooting range is going to be into that hill, whew, below the fence. So 20 acres. It's pretty big. I mean, most people shooting on 20 acres is going to be small if your neighbors are close. There's no real neighbors out here. There's a couple little cabins. There's a really nice ranch down in there, but it's way down. And so there's no real issues with shooting. No, this is a free county that we're in, thank God. So I want to talk a little bit more about your tips for getting properties at tax sale. Google Earth. Google Earth is your friend, your best friend. Learn how to use it. Learn how to use the measure function. So for example, if you look at a satellite image of this area, it would look unusable. It would look like there's a couple plants, and it would look basically like you couldn't do anything. But this little area right here is probably 50 feet. And on a map, you know, a overhead map, it would look useless. But you could put a tent here, you could put a cabin here, you could put a trailer here. So the map is not the territory. Now there is a way to help you with that, and that's Google Earth. So Google Earth has a 3D function, and you can pan around and you can measure hypercritical before you purchase a property, any property. So look at the Google Earth if you can and see what it looks like there. You can map out the property line, you can draw a boundary. So check the assessor's website, register for the tax sale. They will send you an email and they'll tell you, hey, we're having a tax sale, here's the list of properties. Ideally, you would go out to the properties and look at them. I wasn't able to look at this, but I did enough research that I was satisfied that for the bid that I was willing to put in, I was not gonna lose. So I set a maximum bid, the bidding started, and I was the winner. I spent $7,200 on 20 acres. I'm happy that I did. Already there's a neighbor selling his 20 acres for 80 grand, and already money in the bank. So don't be shy to throw a little bit of money at something. This is a good way for people to get land. The government loves it because they can collect on their taxes. You need to check the rules in your county. Usually the county does a good job of creating pamphlets, stuff you could read through, but you have to register for the sale. You have to put a deposit to participate in the sale, and if you don't win anything, they will send your deposit back. So what are the tips here? Google Earth, check the listings. You can look on Zillow, but a lot of these rural properties, Zillow is not going to have a lot of information. You can talk to your local realtor, but the other thing you got to be careful of is if you start honking your horn and telling people, hey, there's a nice parcel I found on this tax sale, you might have just created some competition for you. So pretty darn tootin', I would say. A little bit of work, but once we get it all dialed in, it'll be a nice place for the family to hang out, have little picnics, day trips, camping. Doesn't look like there's too many bears, but hey, you know, it might come coyotes or bobcats come creeping in the night. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Again, you got to be patient. You got to have some panache. You got to have a little bit of a risk mentality. But it's not good to do these things out of desperation. So I kind of looked around and thought, you know, I had a maximum. My maximum was actually more than I bid, but I ended up winning it. Set a maximum and live by it. I mean, there will be more properties. There's going to be another sale next year, usually around March. So Google your local county tax assessor, look at their tax sales, check out the rules. If it's a tax lien, you need to learn about that versus getting an outright deed. Use your tools that you can, play Google Sleuth, look from the sky. You know, I have all this satellite imagery now. Look at Google Maps, look at Google Earth. They're two different things. Google Maps and Google Earth, they're two different things. Try to find other listings, Google the area, check out the town. And if you can, you'll go look at it. A lot of these rugged properties, you're going to need four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive with good off-road tires usually. And if you believe in yourself, you can make it happen. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll be posting some more videos. We're going to be building our shooting range. We're going to be doing some more work on the land, and you'll get to see what the experience is like and hopefully learn something and hopefully it'll be valuable to you. You can make your life better. Thank you, everyone.